Ciao ragazzi, eccoci stasera con una nuova chiacchierata per fare la conoscenza con un altro dei protagonisti della prossima Red Bull XAlps 2025. Attesissima 12ª edizione della più appassionante gara di I Can Fly al mondo. Quest'anno FIVL con i suoi canali e con il sottoscritto è stata invitata formalmente e accreditata come media press nella competizione. Quindi saremo presenti nei giorni preparatori allo start, durante la gara e poi durante lo svolgimento saremo di nuovo live con i teams, i piloti, gli organizzatori che man mano avranno modo di collegarsi con noi. Ok, siamo pronti? Questa sera non indugiamo oltre, siamo pronti per parlare con... Eccoci qua, siamo oggi con Ulrich Grill, il cuore della Red Bull XAlps dall'inizio e quindi abbiamo il piacere di parlare con lui. Welcome Ulrich and thanks very much for being here with us.
Pleasure to be here as well, and happy to talk to the Italian community, flying community. So very glad about that.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Okay, so Ulrich, what can we say? The first edition of Red Bull XAlps took place in 2003, so very long time ago. Would you have expected at that time that the Red Bull XAlps could become a race, worldwide race known as it is now?
I mean, I think when you start a project like this, you never can really expect to become so big or to inspire so many people. What we had, and Hannes Arich, he was my best buddy, and he had the idea, and we've never been thinking of anything like this, but just following a dream or having an idea and trying to realize ideas that have not been done before. And that's always like the motivation and the curiosity to do something more than just like what has been done, the past, 10 years or so. So the idea to create a new format and to come back to the roots of what is mountaineering, adventure, and also flying under your own feet, and as we fly with the power of the wind and the thermals, the idea of just like going up mountains and taking off and fly as far as you can has been triggering us and making an adventure and an event out of that. That's something that we loved, and which we started.
Right.
I think, especially in the beginning, what was important for Hannes and me always in all the projects that we did is not to only stay in the core community, but also to bring it to a bigger audience. So, and meaning in the bigger audience, we had the idea in 2003 already with the live tracking, so that people everywhere around the world could sit at home and see the athletes proceeding in the remotest valleys of the Alps. So that was the idea. So not only the sports format, but also how do we consume it? How can people participate in the race?
Yes. And I believe last time, it was really nice when it was possible also to be in the cockpit with the pilot. I had in my office free monitor open. I was working, but my eyes were going left and right to see what the pilots were seeing. It was really unbelievable. Yes, fantastic. So, Ulrich, how is your team composed? I mean, is there people that works all year long for the Red Bull XAlps, or it's just something specific?
So we have a team of, I would say, like 3 to 4 people who work all year round on the project. So actually not only 1 year, but actually 2 years around, because it's only every 2 years.
Yeah.
So we have we have project manager, we have social media, we have content creation, and partner management. So all those people basically work year round on the project, because otherwise it's also not possible to create such a momentum, to cater for an audience that is as big as Red Bull X-Alps. So it needs to become a professional organization versus just doing something on the side. And I think this is how we manage it. And then during the race, so right now we ramp up the teams. And during the race, the team is about 70 people, big, who work on the project for about 3 weeks.
Mhm.
So it's really like, boom,
And then
and
going.
then
Yeah, so, well, 70 people, it's really a medium-sized company. I mean, yeah,
absolutely,
it's
absolutely.
a lot of
And
people
in
too.
Yeah, and especially for the length of the race, as we know, often races or like sports events, they take they're for 1 day or like 2 or 3 days, or other hike and fly races. And now having a race for 12 days and with the preparation week, it's really like a 3-week project, where people have to work 24/7. So it's brutal.
Yeah,
And then, as you know, we don't know how good the athletes will perform, how the weather is, how fast they are. We don't know where they're going to be when. And the challenge then that the organization and logistics follow up is quite a challenge.
right. Yes. So the last edition 2 years ago, we saw athletes going so fast. It was some days, it was really unbelievable what they were doing. And so, and also, in my point of view, it was like looking a Formula One race, because if we consider Maurer arrived, and then in the next day, another 10 or even no more
18.
pilots arrived.
18. Yeah,
18 arrived. Yes.
18, like Kriegel arrived on Saturday, and then on Sunday we had 18 pilots in goal, which was
Bingo.
amazing.
Fantastic.
So
Yes.
so we see the amount of the level of competitive athletes is so close these
Yes.
days. And
Yes.
as you say, it's Formula One. They get so smart in how they race, the strategies and everything. It's amazing, and the speed. And remember, in 23, the weather was good. It was like unstable a little bit, but it wasn't perfect.
No.
It wasn't perfect,
Yeah.
but Kriegel came into goal 6 days and something. So it's like, pwah,
Yeah. Unbelievable. I remember
unbelievable.
at the Mont Blanc, they had rain and thunder, and also on the
Yeah.
Dolomites, the north wind
Yes.
was so strong
Exactly.
that was
Exactly.
really, I believe, impossible to fly for everybody unless this bunch of pilots. So,
Yeah.
how did you plan the route this year? I mean, we see a route with this cross point, which is really something very new, but also a lot of turn points, the new free ferrata. So, how was it studied?
So I think every time, like, you start something new, you think ahead a few additions. So we let our brain wonder what could be, what could it make more interesting. And when we think of elevating the race, and it's an adventure race with these different disciplines of the trail running, the hiking, the mountaineering, and the paragliding, we always think of how can we make it more interesting from the sport for the athletes, and also more interesting for the audience as well. But sport comes first. Sport and safety comes first, actually. So when we think of how to create the route, and it's Red Bull Cross Alps, so we have to make sure athletes cross the Alps. But as I said, it's an adventure race. So it's not only a paragliding race, although we come from free flying and paragliding, but it's an adventure race where we have to have elements of adventure. The reason why of that being is we want to make sure people are excited about adventure. So many more people are excited about doing adventures versus just paragliding. And by calling it also an adventure race, we can talk to many more people who then follow it. They get excited about it. They start to say like, well, maybe I should try to make a beginner's course in paragliding. So it's also a project where we enlarge the community of pilots. But we call it not a paragliding race, but an adventure race.
Yeah, true. You know, I have a good friend which is an instructor. He tells me every time after the Red Bull X-Alps race, I get 3-4 mountaineers that they come here and they want to learn to get the permit to fly with paraglider, because
Perfect.
as you said, they are really fascinated about this. And before, Ulrich, you told us about the tracking that was already placed in the first edition, and we said how amazing it was last one. So what is going to be, there is something that is going to be new, some new features about the tracking in this edition?
I mean, we're trying to, and it's a challenge, I have to say, because I think the X-Alps, the 3D live tracking, is the ultimate tracking before it becomes military level.
Yeah.
So to say. And military is something we cannot afford. We're like a sports event. So trying to make a tracking which is cross-border, which is going into the deepest valleys of the Alps, which creates safety, but also visibility and excitement, inspiration, is a challenge. Also because the testing is to some extent limited, so we have to perform when the race is on. What we are doing now, like that, we partnered up with Navita as well. We also have, based on the GSM reach, and like we also have a Garmin InReach as a second layer, but then we will also have FarNet as a third layer. So in terms of data collection, we have 3 levels of data collection, which will then all merge into the server, being interpreted by the software, and then being executed, shown, delivered to the live tracking maps and experience. So what you can expect this year is a quite improved system, a lot more statistics and information. So it should be much nicer. And potentially, I just say potentially, but I can't reveal that yet. There's a new experience in there which we had never before. So,
Wow.
So we are in the testing phase. So we just need to make sure it's also performing. But
Wow, I can't wait to see what is this surprise.
Yeah. And as you
Absolutely.
said, like we have so many people who tell us, like, during the Red Bull X-Alps, they have all the screens in front of them. You can't get away from the
Yeah,
screen, and
true.
like everyone is just like so excited. Where are they gonna go? Where they are gonna fly? Are they gonna capture a thermal here or there? And I think the beauty now with the 3D live tracking, and as you say, like you can sit in the harness, you can experience what the athlete is experiencing right that moment. And to make that experience as real as possible, this is the long-term vision, so that we will all be able to see the race from the eyes of the athletes, see how things evolve around them, how the weather is going to be, if it's raining or you see the clouds forming and stuff like this. So it becomes a virtual reality.
Yeah.
And this is our vision of an immersed experience with the 3D live tracking. So, and it's something that we work on, trying to get better every edition. It's a tough one because we have to finance it. We have to make it happen so that it actually works. But that's the vision.
Yeah. Also, because for sure in those days it will be overloaded by requests. So you need
Yes,
a lot of power at the base.
exactly.
Absolutely.
And also, like as you say, like we had some years when we were just like run over by requests on the servers. So servers were down. Then we have to scale up, bring in a proper server situation, which costs a fortune, crazy.
Yeah, yeah,
And that's the challenge, you know, as we grow and as the race is becoming bigger, to also be able to manage it in many ways.
sure.
And that's the challenge. But I think we're on a good track, and the community is supporting us in a great way in all the countries, and we have amazing destinations supporting it. I think the beauty is that people see, and also like on the destination, they see hike and fly is a proper topic where a lot of people follow. So
Yeah,
the destinations become interested. They support it more and more. So which gives us opportunities of having more freedom in terms of launches, landing zones, and an end. And there's an appreciation for what we do, and that's great. That's really, really great.
absolutely, yes. So, Ulrich, going back to the race, you told me you are managing a team of 70 people during the race. How is this management divided from, let's say, a control room and then on the field?
So there's, as you probably know, we have a race committee. So there's Ferdinand Vogel, he's the race director. He really looks onto the sports side. Everything that concerns the athletes, the routes, the rules, all of that. Then we have Jojo Bölzel, he is the event director. So he looks into logistics, the runners, the system, is everything set up at the start, like at the turn points, and all of that. And then we have our communication setup in the background, which takes up, I think, from the resources, at least 50% of the overall project. And the race control is here in where I am, in Fuschl am See, in our office. And we have like a studio of like 100 square meters, and we have about 25 people in there.
Oh,
It's a little bit like Houston. Well, hopefully we don't have a problem, but
yeah.
but it is a little bit like this, where you have where all the information is being gathered, which is happening out there, where information and decisions are being made on all sorts of things, which are then being distributed again, where the 3D live tracking is being managed, controlled. And all of this is happening here as the race control center.
Right. Okay, so a good division between roles and the things to do.
Yes.
Uh, right. So, Ulrich, this is a question that it's always difficult to reply, but I want to ask you. In your opinion, which was the most exciting race, the most exciting edition? For sure, you will tell me the next one, but in your heart, in the past, how was it?
Good question. I mean, it's a really good question, and it's very difficult to answer as well, because there have been so many great moments that make this race so amazing. I mean, when the athletes get into goal, I think it's those moments which give me a lot of like I don't know, like I go like wow, because of the athletes, what they are delivering in terms of um, of uh, energy for 12 days, or how fast they are, how much they hike, how much they fly, how much they are dedicated in their minds
Yeah,
for the race. It's those moments which make me really often go like, this is really, really amazing. Maybe a moment which I remember very clearly, which gave me the reason to say like, okay, that's really Red Bull X-Alps. I think it was 2015. Don't nail me down on this. So somewhere 2015,
okay.
2017. We started here in Salzburg, and like the athletes were racing up the Geisberg, and it was a very hot day, and we knew a cold front would be coming in. So in Salzburg, when they launched, they ran off, it had like 35 degrees, running up the mountain, taking off, flying towards the Dachstein Glacier. And while they were going there, and it's not so far, the cold front came in. So that day, I remember I remember the images that the athletes were walking across the glacier in snowstorm. So having 35 degrees at start, and then having flying like before the front, then landing safely somewhere, hiking up and through the night on the mountain, was a moment where I said like, wow, this is really a big adventure. And chapeau to the athletes to manage and handle it also safely, from heat to rain to snowfall and storm, and being able to manage that. And that was for me a moment where I said like, oh, it's like chapeau to all the athletes, to their performance, to their stamina, of what they're able to pull off. Where I'm always excited. I mean, it's one of those many moments I remember that is really, really great.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. You want to know my moment? It was during the last edition, nearly at the end, when Pinot and Damien Lacase reached Kriegel, and I thought, okay, maybe this year is going to be the year of the changement. And seeing the next morning, Kriegel, anyway, keeping his, let's say, calms and go up and then fly again. And anyway, at the end, arriving as first, it was really giving me the strong mind of these pilots, which is really something unbelievable.
Yeah, I fully agree. I think Kriegel is a very exceptional athlete and personality, being so strong in every aspect, and being an amazing strategist as well, taking the right decisions. For me, the difference to everyone else is like and we all know, like when we fly, we're taking decisions every fraction of a second. The way you fly and everything, and what you do. And out of the 100% of decisions he's taking, maybe 90% of these decisions are right.
Right. Yeah.
It can never be 100%.
Sure.
But the next one, maybe only his decisions are at not 90%, but maybe 89%.
Yeah.
But this percent of better decisions in the overall aspect of the race make him this unique athlete.
Yes, absolutely. Ulrich, talking about the female part, last year, last edition, sorry, I keep saying last year, but for sure I mean last edition.
It happens to me all the time.
Yeah. We saw the first woman arriving to the end, Elieger, which was really impressive and very, very strong. And I was thinking that this would have let's say, giving some other girls the willing to try and to do again. And I was quite surprised to see this year only Céline Lawrence is listed at the start. So why this happened in your opinion?
It's the same question that we have as well, like you had. We thought after last year with Elieger getting into goal and getting a lot of appreciation as well, and we got a lot of media on her as well. We thought like it would inspire a lot more girls to come along and try out the race and apply, but it just was not the case. So I don't know, maybe a lot of them said like, well, it's just too hard for us. Although I think we always had like, great participants who performed also really well, especially in terms of the flying as well, because it's more like a topic of your brain and strategy. So yeah, we were surprised as well. So but it gives us, I would say, the motivation for 2027 to think how we can involve the girls more and the female pilots and athletes more, and give them an opportunity to step into it, maybe a little bit differently. So this is definitely something which is, again, like very important for us. And as you may remember, in 21, we had like 5 female athletes participate. So we thought like, oh wow, this is really, really cool. We have a dynamic going. And in 21, and then like it just didn't work out this year, which is really, really pity. So I hope we can also come up with some ideas of bringing female athletes closer to the race, give them opportunities, maybe a different strategy here, so they feel comfortable to apply for the race and be part of the race, because we have to involve them. And there's more and more girls out there doing hike and fly, and we want them to give them an opportunity to participate in the race, maybe on their terms. Like we'll haven't decided, but it's something that we have in our focus for sure.
Right. Yeah, I look forward to see which will be your decision. So Ulrich, what is going to be prepared for all the people coming in Kitzbühel and in Zellensee for the start and the end? Are you preparing as I don't know, something special? Already some pilots told me that there will be a lot of events. I remember from 2 years ago, I was there too, the prologue, and all the fact that it was possible to see all the athletes around the village or in the camping. And for enthusiasts like me, it was really so nice to be able to have a talk with Maxime Pinot or Arun Durogati or Nick Donini. It was really unbelievable to have them there. So what is going to be prepared this year?
So obviously we also have the prologue, before the race. We have our, whoops.
Oops.
Here it is, sorry.
No problem.
So we have, again, like our prologue, in the race, which is going to be, again, really, really nice. Obviously for us as a focus for the Red Bull X-Alps, our full focus is in supporting the athletes to be prepared for the race, with all the briefings, with all the testing, with making sure the equipment is right, the medical checks, the race briefings, and give them confidence of making sure they can participate in the race, have a great experience, and do it safely. And safety is a very important topic for the show itself, or like for the excitement, as you say. It's a community. Most of the athletes, they stay on the campground. All of them are very easily approachable, but also we have to make sure like we keep at a little bit of a distance, because they are in the zone, I would say, already.
Yeah.
The beauty is, I think, that also then for the start and for the prologue and the start, with a lot of like-minded people coming, cheering up the athletes, seeing what's new, from our partners, what they bring to the table, and just being among the same people, and experience the excitement of the race. Also, like when they launch of the Hahnenkamm, they run up the Streif race track, they come up there, and when you're going to be there, the excitement of the audience there, of the athletes taking off, it's something that gives you goosebumps. It's so amazing. And to think they just have to then go at 1,283 kilometers as the crows flies, and start and launch into the adventure. It's really, really amazing. And then I would say, like, Kitzbühel is a great place, also like for the community to fly, and some side activities happening as well. So there's quite a few things aligned. And again, also XAlps, XAlps is for us a great partner for finishing the race and for being there. And then, like, obviously, the athletes have arrived. It's done. They're open for talks. They relax. It's a great place. It's really great excitement there as well. And we're very much looking forward to that.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, as you said before, being there at the takeoff last time, it was really something amazing to see all the wings in one big thermal on your head turning.
Yeah,
It was
wow.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And the crowd, as you remember, the crowd being there.
Yeah.
And like so excited, that
Yeah.
now they can actually go back home, watch it live, on their screens. Entertainment for 12 days, 24/7. It's going to be nice. And
Really.
I think, despite like the local turn points and everything, it's great for St. Moritz as well, the double, the X turn point for the athletes to come through. So that's a great location for the fans to be there, to wait there while they heading west, while they heading back.
Coming back.
So I think that's really cool. That's also really
in fact, in my plan after coming home from Kitzbühel, it will be to go the next weekend in St. Moritz and probably see maybe already somebody coming back and maybe the last ones going through. So it's going to be absolutely interesting. Yes.
Yeah. Same here as well. Like we are very excited to see how this transition is going to be happening. Maybe they can just like high five while the first comes in, like one of the last, go heading to west. And so I think it brings a new element to the race as well, and an opportunity for fans to be closer to the race, to capture it and to see it. And something that's always very, I would say, makes me very happy and is very close to me is the stories that we hear from spectators. They see on the live tracking, the athletes are coming close to where they live. So they wait for the athletes to come by. They give them some food. They tell them like the special little trails where they can hike up better, or like some launches where only the locals know. So these kind of like connection from the audience, the spectators with the athletes, it's something that's really great. Well,
Hello, Ulrich?
Yes.
Wow. Something, I had a very big breakdown here. I'm sorry.
No problem. No problem.
But look, the recording should be okay, because this was online. I was trying to connect. Now I connected with my 5G on my telephone because there is a big breakdown on the line. I don't know why.
Okay. No worries.
Good. So anyway, we were okay. The recording is still going. Okay, good. Sorry about this. Then I will cut and paste later.
Yeah. No problem.
Thanks for waiting for me.
I've been waiting here.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Okay. So we were talking about Kitzbühel, and you gave me already the reply. I have one last question for you, Ulrich, which is a question about your older,
You're breaking up,
let's say,
Rinaldo. Hello?
big passion, which is folding the Red Bull Illume. Yes. Can you hear me?
You were breaking up, Rinaldo.
Hello?
Yeah, you were I could not hear the question.
Right, but now I'm back again.
Yeah, let's try. The connection was going down, probably because of just like the 3G or GSM.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So the question was about your other big passion, which is photography. And you are holding the Red Bull Illume. And I was going to ask you if you think there will be a contest for photographs also in the Red Bull X-Alps.
Interesting question. Like normally we keep this apart, but maybe that's actually a good idea. And to have people and spectators who are coming to the race or like to turn points, and we make a contest from that, or we make a contest, from the athletes as well themselves. This is something that we had before, but more like informal. So the best video or reel that has been created by the teams would receive a prize. So we had some projects like this, but to maybe roll it out to a bigger audience, maybe that's a good idea.
Okay, so yeah. I hope it was good. Yes.
Yeah. Thanks for the inspiration, Rinaldo. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so Ulrich, really thanks very much for this nice talk we had. I look forward to see you in Kitzbühel and to see the start of this fantastic new edition in 2025. And so, thanks again.
Yes. Yeah, thank you, Rinaldo, and see you in Kitzbühel-Kirchberg for sure. And then we can have a little bit more chats, and we can have a Red Bull, sure, and enjoy the show.
Yes. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
Very much.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.